This fiscal year alone, CBP has seized more fentanyl than they did in the entirety of 2020. The vast majority of these deaths being caused by fentanyl today, to show that we're not interdicting a greater percent of drugs. There's just simply more drugs coming in today.
All right, so that is White House drug czar Jim Carroll testifying today on the fentanyl crisis, another crisis in Joe Biden's America. And China helped put us there, okay? As the COVID deaths start to decrease across America, deaths due to fentanyl continue to skyrocket, 90,000 in 2020. Remember, it is China sending fentanyl to America for one reason and one reason only. I believe it is to kill us. It is, like the China virus release, an act of war on the United States. On June 1st, the American Medical Association released a report titled Drug Overdose Epidemic Worsened During COVID Pandemic. State by state, fentanyl deaths skyrocketed to record numbers. In Alabama, up 31%. In Florida, up 70%. The list goes on and on. And during the height of the pandemic, opioid relapses hit an all-time high. Why? Because the China virus lockdowns interrupted addiction recovery programs across the country. So what is Joe Biden's answer to dealing with the fentanyl addiction that is quickly engulfing this nation? He calls it harm reduction methods. In Democrat speak, that means make it easier and supposedly safer to use these powerful drugs and opioids. It's impossible. Team Biden wants to see more supervised injection sites. And just so no Americans fear about overdosing, he's making the overdose antidote, naloxone, more readily available. What Joe Biden needs to do is take a hard stance on stopping the flow of fentanyl from China into the United States. Joe Biden refuses to do that. Folks, in almost a bizarre move, Joe Biden killed President Trump's plan to make opioid treatment prescriptions more readily available. He killed the plan that was saving American lives, which means, it sure looks like it to me, our current commander-in-chief is helping the Chinese wage war on us. Well, joining me now is the senator from Florida, Rick Scott. Senator, welcome to the program.
You know, your heart goes out to family members that have lost a loved one because of fentanyl opioids here. And then you watch these people that struggle with addiction. I have a family member that has struggled his entire life with addiction. And, you know, your heart goes out to them. And when you see what Joe Biden's doing with no concern about how this is impacting families, when you have a family member that's struggling like this, like you get 5 children, like my mom had, and one of them struggles with it, it's devastating to her. And that's what's going on around this country.
Senator,
and it's because what China's sending us and what the border's allowing it to come across.
Senator, do you believe, like I do, that China is at war with the United States? I believe them allowing the China virus to spread was an act of war, really on just about every other nation on earth. And I believe them sending fentanyl is designed to kill Americans.
Whether it's a war or not, they're clearly killing Americans, and it's intentional. They're not cracking down on this. So every time, I say this, every time an American buys a product made in communist China, just remember what they're doing. They're helping the government of communist China sell fentanyl in this country. They're helping them steal American jobs, steal technology. They're watching. We know that 1 million people are in prison for their religion. We know this is happening. We know that this coronavirus was, came out of something that has somehow created Wuhan, and we know the Chinese government covered it up. So stop buying anything made in communist China. Stop helping them build their economy to dominate us. I mean, they hate our values. They hate our way of life. It's the Communist Party of China is out to get us.
Senator, it seems to me that Joe Biden and really the entire Democrat Party is not taking this seriously about the strong possibility that the China virus now came from this lab. I want to run a soundbite from you, from Secretary of State Antony Blinken, calling into question this Wall Street Journal report where two scientists had said, look, there's no way this virus is from nature. The sequencing of the DNA, it would be like a 1 in a trillion chance of it coming from nature. Listen to the Secretary of State talk about that report from the Wall Street Journal.
A number of us made very clear the absolute not only inadequacy of that report, but the fact that its methodology and the engagement by China in writing the report was totally insufficient and undermined its credibility. And now the head of the World Health Organization has basically agreed with that.
So he poo-poos the report, for lack of a better term. Senator, what is it about the Democrats, Team Biden, covering for China?
I don't get it. I mean, don't Americans that lost their loved ones to COVID-19 deserve an answer? Don't the parents that lost a loved one that died because of a suicide because they couldn't get back in school deserve an answer? Don't the people that lost their businesses deserve an answer? The Biden administration seems to every day go defend communist China instead of defending Americans' right to find out. We have to know what happened here. One, they need to be held accountable with whoever did this. And two, we don't want this to happen again. Think about how many lives, what, over 500,000 lives have been lost. Don't those families deserve an answer?
Yeah, you would think, and you would hope that they would. Real quick, I asked members of Congress, Republicans, is there any Democrats in their chamber that support the idea of holding China accountable? I always get a big no. They can't find anybody. Are there any Democrat senators in your chamber that support the idea of holding China accountable? Real quick, if you can, last word.
It's always based on actions, right? No. What have they done? They've done nothing. They've tried to cover, it's politics to try to blame everything on Trump.
Yeah. Well, Senator, I appreciate you coming on the program. It's great to get you on. I hope to get you back again real soon. Keep up the great work in Florida, especially. Your state is a model for the rest of the nation. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate it.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.